Welcome and Assalamu alaikum to this session on AI hands-on using Scikit-learn and Python. So we have our expert ready. So I'll give. I would request all the participants to be on mute, and we will open up the floor for discussion as and when the expert wishes, so that the session goes on smoothly. So inshallah, we can have the discussion also. And it's going to be an extremely interesting and informative session on Scikit-learn and Python hands-on for machine learning. So over to you, brother. Inshallah, we can start.
Yeah, thank you very much, Abrar bhai. Thank you very much to inviting for this webinar. I like to take.
Good morning, everyone. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, sir. Tell me.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for inviting this Zoom meeting.
Yes, sir. Just a minute. I like to.
So, brother, you can share your screen. You can see.
Yeah, just a minute. I'm sharing. Yeah, it's my voice is clear, right, brother?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, it's coming fine, and I can see your screen also.
MashaAllah. Okay, fine. We'll start what agenda we are going to discuss today. And my point of view today discussing will be rather than machine learning, what the forces acting on machine learning, because there is a gap between the academia and industry of projecting of machine learning the other side and what is actually machine learning as a beginner, because as a target users we are going to discuss the beginner target class. For that, what I have planned to tell about my time will be spending on how the data will be there, how the data is going to come, how your data is going to store, how we are going to pre-process, and with simple example of a machine learning. Then our agenda will be like on machine learning with Scikit-learn. A Scikit-learn is a package which the Python have been given like handful of experience to explore in the fields of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science. Fine. Let me introduce myself. My name is Abdul Khalandar. I'm a research scholar, a machine learning engineer and lecturer in VIT University. And I'm pursuing my PhD simultaneously at VIT University. Then my area of interest will be purely on machine learning. Now I'm starting exploring NLP and deep learning also. And the area which I love to work will be healthcare, because this area has dragged me to do some real-time applications which can be solved. I mean, this is the initial stage. I can't tell like this solve the initial stage. This is my completely pure interest. Now, this is my contact information, and this is my email ID for further collaborations. Now, first, I mean, this man has given me clearly a good explanation what is machine learning. Today's machine learning definition is different, and what he has given definition of machine learning, he says what we want is a machine that can learn from experience. Now, the experience says the data patterns. He wants to say, give a data input and train your machine what you require. Now, this is the background what is actually machine learning is. Getting a data, give the inputs of data, and train your machine on what the inputs of data is available. This is I mean, the brilliant scientist has given this definition. Now, there is a misconception between the industry and academia. The expectation was reality. Everyone sees like, okay, I'm working on machine learning. This is, I mean, left side is talking about is machine learning, but actually we do normally all the industry do like these are the main area we are going to work at data pre-processing. I mean, 70% of every data science project, machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, they spend 70% of time only on data pre-processing steps only till today. I mean, this is the main expectation and reality. If our data is in correctly cooked form, as in like stored in racks, it might be like raw data. I mean, not raw data, like it's in a perfect form. Then we are ready to use the application, and we need to understand what is the problem statement we are going to address. Now, a brief introduction what machine learning life cycle, what we are going to discuss in hands-on, which I have been working on that. Now we get raw data, where the raw data can be any sources which has a sensors, like because of the announcement of IoTs, it's given today's the data is like oil. Like the Gartner Journal of the United States states like that only a Facebook produce 6 to 8 trillion of data in a day. It's very huge. I mean, because it's very huge. To store this type of raw data, they are using few tools that are data lakes, Kafka, and Azure. These are the background how they are going to collect the data. The data will come from the source. These few tools are helping us to collect in a data in a raw format. When a raw format data is done, and the next step, we need to pre-process with the help of some machine learning, the Sparks, Scikit-learn, and Pandas, where we are going to most of the discussion will be on data pre-processing step only. Then, why there is a need of data pre-processing, we'll see a step. We have a complete hands-on where we are going to work. Then we are going for once our data is clean and once the data is stored in appropriate format of an appropriate what we desire according to a problem statement, then we will going for training of data. Training of data is like we have to divide data in some portion of left and I mean training and testing. That training of data, the inputs of training data should be matched with the inputs of test data. Then we can say the data is like what we are going to work in.
Sorry to disturb, Abdul Bhai.
Yeah.
Can you please put in slideshow mode? Can you?
Yeah, it's slideshow mode, right? It's not showing.
No, it's coming on the screen, but it's in normal mode. Can you?
Okay.
Make it presentation. Sorry to disturb.
Okay. Is this fine, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, and then the pre-processing steps have been completed. Then we'll follow a training of model. Training of model is like your data need to what extent we have to do for training set, what extent we have to do for test set. We'll see in the okay. Then this is the pure development phase. This will be like schedule till the big data scientists who have a 10, 15 years experience might be working on this type of test, but we might be for a beginner of this webinar, we will discuss about the raw data, data pre-processing, and a glimpse of training set. Fine. Now, this is my agenda, what we are going to discuss. Now, getting a data, where we are going to get a data. Next step will be like pre-processing. What are the pre-processing steps? How we are going to fill the data in a proper manner in the rows and columns that are useful for development. Next, getting a label. And in the previous sessions, all the speakers, the last three sessions talk about what is supervised learning, unsupervised learning. They have brilliantly explained. I hope you guys are very much familiar with that. Thus, I will go to a problem statement only. Then creating a classifier. And what is the classifier? It is a regression problem, it is a classification problem, depends upon the problem statement we are going to take. And the classifier should be in the training format. What is my training set, what is my test set. And here the word the predict I use is like analyze, analysis of data sets. It's not like I can't say like predicting something. In general term, we analyze the data set in a complete webinar today in hands-on. Now then they are the well-known famous developed frameworks, the TensorFlow and Keras, which is used for deep learning framework, which used for high computation power. We reduces our work our because nowadays the system is not that much capable of doing of machine learning because a huge data set. This helps us to work very fast and very efficiently, and the computation level is very impressive in comparison to other frameworks. Now, at last, we'll let the prediction model with some accuracy metrics we are using for that. And this process is a repetitive process because once you are done, accuracy is not over. We have to done a step-by-step process. Then we need to get how the process will be done and what is the end output. Now, this ML pipeline, first, we are going for pre-processing the filter. The filters is like what data is required, what data is not required. This we have to segregate, depends on the problem statement. Then we go for portion of the set. Portion is like what is my test set, what is my training set, and which data has to taken, which data has not to taken. I mean, this is almost over 70% of all the all the I mean machine learning practitioners works on this, and outliners. And this is a big area, outliners, anomaly detection. I mean, one of the biggest research we can working on anomaly detection, outliners. Some data is not relevant to what we are going to capture, what we are capturing in the first phase of source, and how the outliners can be removed. Then next is my problem. Now here starts the main problem: creating a hypothesis. If I know to know what is classification regression, I should know what is my research problem, what is my research gap, what is my problem statement I need to work. If it is classified, I should use a specific set of algorithms. For regression, I use specific setup. Here, we are going to divide our time complexity. In data structures, we use a time complexity, which it will help us to reduce our time. It is a classification problem, it's a regression problem. Then we build models with some machine learning models and with the pipelines with the some of inbuilt packages, and then we need to validate the given inputs. It is a cyclic process. The cyclic process will go a continuous process. Now, as we discussed, I want to talk only on data. Where every data what you are collecting is authenticated or not. First, we need to check. Suppose if someone is working in a healthcare sector, if data is not an authenticate, not is like given input data is correct, then my output will be in like landing in other ocean and island, because the data is a main key role to complete machine learning, yeah, artificial intelligence. It's my data science process. If my data is correct, my data is accurate, the source of information is accurate, then we can free probably work on the problem statement we are going to. Until unless our data is not going to be some authentication source, if you do any number of things, and because the if data is manipulated, we can't do anything. We depend on only on data. Then There are so many open source data repositories. Like for most familiar is UCI repository, Kaggle, Google data set. There's so many now nowadays because of after 2016 or 2017, this data sets. I mean, even the governments are providing the data sets in open forum now. I mean, you can go to the sites and they get the data, get analysis, collect on your own. But this stage is very difficult collect on your data because I have went very on my research. That will be not that much easy task to collecting the data. Always have there is a MOUs and collaborations with the data agencies so that our work will be a more problem. But they only this problem is faced by the big companies where they are going to create their own target users. Then as we discussed, they should be verified, a correctness should be of data should be there. Just we're taking data set from somewhere, we should not predict like we should assume that it's good data, it's like authentic data. We have to validate and it should be correctness, then only our end output will be more suitable for us. And it should be computer readable. Computer readable. We use the pandas. The here comes the picture. Really, the Python. The Python community has done very brilliant work. It reduces the 90% of works of the programmers and the coders, the researchers. It has given. There is no words to tell that what the Python has done and what is the Scikit-learn package has been given to the industry, and why there is a need, why Python is much more popular. The only one reason what I found is the community support. When you have an error, when you have any problem, then the community support is it's very, very fast, and you can sort out your problem within a fraction of seconds. The most site, the Stack Overflow is the best site for the programmers and the researchers, where you can post your question within a fraction of time. They will get an error. You will sort out. Now, this is the main concept. We have to, as a beginners, we need to work on this pre-processor. What is pre-processing step? Because one data is coming from the source that we don't know what is the format of data. It might be XML format, it might be a text format, it might be what the other formats. I mean, CSV, it may be not in, most probably it not be a CSV, because the CSV we have to do. I mean, we don't know the window format. Then we need change the format. Normally, most of the data sets work on CSV, comma separated file format. Because why comma separated file? We need to get the rows and columns data should be present. It is like very easy to understand. When data is clungy, then we can't able to see data is missing someday, some data is missing somewhere. For example, the real-time example, if all the 60 students sit in a class in a proper direction, it will be like good. When the 60 students are like not in a proper direction, not in a random direction, it's like clungy. Now what we do is a faculty, because I came from the academia, we arrange the student in such a way that all the 60 all sit in the rows and columns so that I can easily interact with them. Then the second task will be redundant problem. There is a lots of chances duplicate data will be available, because when you're collecting data from the sensors, it's a very hectic schedule. Because when you go for time series data, mainly time series data, the weather data, and when you emission from IoT, some medical equipment, there is a big chances to get redundant problem, because this IoT sensors will generate create data twice, thrice, and fourth. If I'm working on data set of 20 patients, 200 patients, it's fine for me to work on. But out of 200 patients, 100 patients are repetitive statements. Then just imagine what will the output I'm going to achieve. First, we need to change the format and redundant. There should not be any duplicate data present in our complete pure data set. These are our main goal of any data researcher, data machine learning enthusiastic, and whatever you can call it to be. Then filter the data. Filter the data, what extent of data we are going to select, which data we are going to select. Is the data which we have collected from the source is not compulsory. We have to use each and every data. What actually we want, because as a one real-time example, I have collected data from IMD Pune, which has a text format. In text format, he has given the data of rows and columns. Then what he has given complete description of an each and every uh, sensor, which is not usable, which is not at all used to me. I had to remove that sensor. Why he is given, because I don't know why. For them it might be useful. For me, I should not be, because when I use this, my problem statement will land in different way. Then I have to remove which is not applicable to my problem statement. We have to understand that that's my point of total webinar is to, we have to understand what is my problem statement. If my data is that much supportive, if my data is going to support you with what we are going to work, and the data which I got is accurate. Then outliners, as we discussed, it's a big research is going on the outliners and anomaly detection and labels. And when you're working on supervised learning, they will go for label, they'll have some labeling. Then normally a basic structure of how the training and test data is splitted is 70 is to 30. 70% of data are given to training set, and 30% of data is given to test set. Why there is a training and test set? Suppose what Alan Turing said, from experience, train your machine. Now, what we are doing from experience, what is our experience? Our experience is nothing but our data. Now, if I give 100% of data, my machine won't understand. I should understand, I should give a hard encoding, but the coding format to stating the machine that this is my one part of data which has some information. Can you test the other part of data, so that your testing and training should be, I mean, uh, output should be an accurate format. This is how why we use a testing and training data, which is a ratio of 70 to 30. Now, so this is the basic example how we are going to partition data. Suppose in data sets, now the questionnaires have been changed to Gallican data. If I here see example, do you love Nutella? Then I can select a data. What age? Normally, the age will be the children's age. From this, we have to get it that what age we are going to target. This is my problem statement. The Nutella company, what is do? They'll give a survey. What is the age sector is going to love the Nutella? Not 60 years can't allow the Nutella. Maybe most probably less probability when compared to age of 5 to 15 or 5 to 20. There might be. This is a problem statement. They have worked on how they are going to collect the data. Then the four partitions will be at train data, test data, train levels, and test levels. These are the four we are going to work. Now, the best simple way, what is the classification regression? I don't want to waste time because all the speakers have been done. If the output is discrete to limited amount of the class, true or false. If the output is true or false, it's a classification problem. If the output is continuous, is a regression problem. For example, time series, and is uh, previous is like true and false. Now, now we have to create a classifier. Till now we have done the pre-processing steps. The pre-processing steps have been done. Done. We have to create a classifier. Then it is a regression problem. It is a classification problem. Then by selecting a regression classification problem, we have to give training and testing data. Then predict, validate, and test data. This is the complete pipeline we are going to within hands-on. Now, environment. Now they should be a tool should be working on what environment we are going to, right? Because these tools make our work very useful, because the Python has given the Scikit-learn, the TensorFlow, all this shown so many packages. It has reduced our 90% of time. In the same way, there are few tools are going to reduce our time. Then the first we are going to use a Python with Scikit-learn Anaconda Navigator. Anaconda Navigator is a platform which most of the 90% of researchers and 90% of practitioners, ML practitioners, will working on Jupyter Notebook because the community support is very huge. These are the triggering point. They work on this Anaconda Navigator. The other thing, MATLAB with ML Toolbox and Apache Mount. Additional, they are Hadoop, Reduce, MapReduce and Parallel, Amazon ML tools, NVIDIA. Then we will be talking about only Anaconda Navigator, Python, Scikit-learn for today's this one. Then these are the few links how you can install Scikit-learn in your standalone application, because with the best practice always we have a standalone application. In machine learning, you get your hands dirty. work on your data, work on data, work on data. Then you, unless your hands are got dirty, you can't do anything. Then these are the few packages we are going to Numpy and SciPy, and a few installation steps how to install Anaconda also, and in Windows and Linux. I'll share the slides, moderators, and they'll share the further sessions. Now, now we have discussed till now the data, how your data is got, how the present. Then what are the packages? Why the machine learning is so much popular? By stating that Scikit-learn is a big boom by using a Python. We have seen Scikit-learn was initially developed by David as a Google summer code. It's developed by Google. I mean, until now it owns by Google. Then why there is a need? Why there is a need? Scikit-learn provides a range of supervised and unsupervised learning algorithms via consists of interface. On a broader perspective, why there is a Scikit-learn? There are already a cook-up data, cook-up format, cook-up package are available. Now the researchers, there is no need to spend writing a codes to execute. Just install that package, call that API, and run your code accordingly your problem statement. That means your 90 to 95% of time have been reduced. Then this is a really a wonderful thing for the researchers. They directly work on this beautiful package like Scikit-learn, and this is most all the companies use Scikit-learn, and it provides a list of supervised algorithms, it provides list of unsupervised, it provides semi-supervised, and it supports most of the machine learning packages we want to work. Now we are going to discuss a few basic libraries for the beginners. What it is, a library is built upon a SciPy, a scientific Python, because before installing all this stuff, your system has to work with Python. I mean, the previous session, the Python speaker has brilliantly has given demo how the Python to install, how to work, and you can refer the recording sessions how we are going to do. Now, uh, first thing is NumPy. NumPy is array is n-dimensional because we want to get our data in rows and columns. For rows and columns, the Python has given a brilliant library as NumPy. NumPy which stores the data into some rows, some columns. It might be n into n, m into n. It depends upon the data we are going to select. This is the package we are going to escape on fundamental library for scientific Python. If you want to work in Pythonic, then we use SciPy, then MATLAB, and in the parts of machine learning, data science, visualization is a core of any problem statement. Unless we don't visualize what is because thousand lines of codes can't explain one picture, because one picture can explain anything. That's we use matplotlib. This is a 2D and 3D plotting which you use for graphs, picture representation. What are the formats we are going to use? Now Python is a console. I call it Python, how you are going to interact with that, and symbolic mathematics, and you know the combination of mathematics, statistics is a complete of machine learning, and the pandas, the pure data structures, how the data is stored and how the data is moved, and how data is updated, how data is deleted, and analysis. It supports some analysis also. Now, the package why we use TensorFlow. The TensorFlow is end-to-end open source machine learning. It is a comprehensive, flexible ecosystem tool, library, community. Then the Scikit-learn, what it has done, it has enough resources to work, the resources to work on. What is TensorFlow? It has gone beyond. When your data is more, when the data is used, you can use TensorFlow framework, Keras, so that you can decrease your computation power by using of this pipelines, this framework. It is already built by Google, so that we can easily run instead of we no need to go for high computation parallel and edge computing system, 64 or 128 GB RAM, then which the TensorFlow gives even a standalone application, a flexibility that you can work here. There are three basic operations why I use TensorFlow. Easy modeling, and I mean just install TensorFlow, some versions, you will get it, the modeling and the robust model is anywhere, you can use anywhere, and for experiments for researchers, and is brilliant for that. Now what is our problem statement? We'll do. Now I have taken a data set from user repository of dermatology data set. It has 34 attributes. Now what is attribute? Attributes are in the columns. What a X element occupies information, what a B elements occupy the information, what Z element occupy information. Now we'll see we have 34 attributes, 33 are which are linear value, one are nominal value. Because of the data, how the researchers, this data set was created by Dr. Abdul Hamid from Ankara University of Turkey. I mean, he's a good researcher. He works on purely on healthcare analytics, and I have collaboration with that, and that's why I have taken these problems. I mean that data set and this problem statement has evolved me to do my PhD, and how the climatic factors affecting the skin diseases. These are the triggering points. That's why I'm work on enough on this, so that I have taken this problem statement. And this data set, first we need to understand what the inputs are present in the data set. Let's see. In the real world problem, they are clinical features empathy. There are six types of skin diseases. This data set consists of six types of diseases. That is psoriasis is there, psoriatic, Lynch, and Reyes chronic, and rheumatoid and pain. These are six types of diseases are present. Fine. The, the first 12 are done by clinical process, and the 22 attributes are done by uh, microscopic process. They have collected some data because they had some good research. Out of that, they have get 34 attributes for inbuilt for us. Then the clinical attributes value ranges from 0, 1, 2, 3, because they are skin diseases. 0 is like null, 1 will be a mild, second 2, if it is 2, it is average. If it is indicated by 3, it is like, I mean, in advanced stage. They have taken 4 stages of that, and this problem is completely a multi-label classification problem, because we have 6 types of diseases. This is our class, this is our label. These 6 diseases are labeled, and these attributes are differentiated with some clinical values of 0, 1, 2, 3. Like 0 is for null, 1 is for like mild, 2 is for average, and 3 is for severe. This is our complete data set description. Before going for any pipeline, we should see what is my data set tells. Then we are going to use some neural net in our demo. Then we'll start a demo here. Just I will share my screen. Yeah, fine. I hope you can able to see my screen, right? Can anyone please respond?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, fine, fine. Yeah, yeah. Let's we'll have glimpse today.
Yes,
What
I can see.
hands-on? Yeah, hands-on. Um, we'll go pre-processing steps. Then we'll go for visualization. What as a beginners we need to work on this. Now import. I mean Java, we have import packages. So the import package we get some information from APIs that directly gets, and no need of writing up code. And we have systems, import system, and import pandas. Pandas, we as discussed, the pandas we use for data structures analysis, some statistical models which are present in pandas, and the pandas and numpys are more um, are the libraries. Without these libraries, I can see like the machine learning might be a difficult task to work on this, because this is numpy, the data frames completely numpy has given a data frames concept which loads the data in physical format in rows and columns. That can be a good for researchers, the practitioners easily work on that. And sklearn we discussed the sklearn packages. What sklearn package provides us is a complete set of algorithms, a supervised learning, unsupervised learning. All packages are inbuilt in sklearn packages. If just call this sklearn packages, it's enough for us. We can use the package, the specific algorithm what we are going to use. And matplotlib for visualization, and keras, and for when you're working with deep learning framework like TensorFlow. On first, we had to install TensorFlow, then we had to go for Keras. This is the format we had to follow, and I have given what is the versions I've been using for in my experiment at the Python. What is the experiment? The Python, because Python 2 and Python 3 has a basic differentiation where Python 2 code can't be work on Python 3 because again we had to change the some indentation, some settings, some syntaxes. Then we have to like. Then I have worked on only version 3 for that. Now we'll start. First, we had to import matplotlib. Now this matplotlib is used to visualize the data because we need to know what a data is there inside to visualize like dashboards. So dashboards is like we have to see what percentage of skills are required, what percent of skills are doing to do. This MATLAB please tells the data of its behavior. Now from pandas we are plotting input scatter like um, this is also used for visualization concept, and these are the packages we most probably use in each and every machine learning, so that we have to get. Next step is this is my data frame name clan.ly. I'm reading my data file final.dermo.cv CSV because I got in the CSV format from the UCI repository. This is my local host and local host and giving the data frame list. What is data frame now? The data frame is nothing but the data should be in rows and columns. What my Numpy supports. This is my Numpy supports. The data should be in rows and columns, which are in physical format. This is my data frame name. Now the shape. Why every before start of analysis, you see the shape of your data frames. What is my data frame? How many rows are present? See in my problem statement, there's 366 rows and 38 attributes are available because the data set consists of 38 attributes, but I consider 34 attributes. We already discussed there is no required, only 38 can be used. Then we have to do pre-processing steps. When we use sharp of data frame of given to data frame name, it gives this output states that how many lines of how many instances are there with number of attributes. Now these are my attribute names. This eczema, the scaling, these borders, the itching. These are the attribute names. The attribute names which has given the clinical attribute which already seen in the previous slide are complete 38 attributes name with some shapes are given when you use this line of code. Fine. Then we need to say print how our data frames have been stored our data. What I am doing, this is my data frame name dot storing elements after 288. My actual lines are 366 instances. I want to see what are the data present after 288th row up to last. The slicing in the Python, you have seen the slicing concept. When you use empty here, then it will show all the remaining elements here. Now we'll see this is up to 288 and so on. It follows to remaining 86 rows and 38 columns have been shown when you give this line of code. Then by looking at this, you might have seen like what is the value present at 28th row, what is my severity of this one when I have this one, the scaling severity and this border severity and so on. If all the 34 attributes have some severity, and we'll see our label data. This is the main concept, the label data. If all this combination is there, some 001, then it is considered to be a disease 4. Disease 4, we have 6 type of diseases. This concept belongs to disease 4. When some inputs are like 2100, then it state like it belongs to disease 1. On depends upon that, we have 6 type of diseases in our problem statement. Now, next, now pre-processing, this is the most important steps of pre-processing steps, removing missing data. How we are going to remove data? Then I'm taking my data frame in some temporary format. Then is in is a function check whether is there any missing data. When I give of this, suppose I want to select the data from 282 and so on. There I can give like I can be empty also 00 and in if any data present in my data set missing, it will show up because already have pre-processed this data set. I don't have any missing values. In the initial stage, I have like 17 rows have been missing. Then this which are filled with mean of the rows because how the missing values are we are going to fill is like mean of the three upper rows and mean of the three below the bottom rows. By means of that we are going to fill the missing values. These are the basic concept, and because the basic concept we have an advanced concept also, but basic how we are going to mean of a rows. This is how the rows and columns are shown. Next, we need to drop some values because some data set consists of null values. The null we don't know what the values will be there. Some in random format. That type of data will be not useful to us because this type of data will lead our problem statement in the wrong direction because we have 360 instances. Out of 366 instances, 66 instances of null value say that 66 instances are false data. How can we train or how can we test our data on false data? So that we have to remove the null values from data frame. To drop the null value, this is a function we use to drop null values in our data set. Why I am now repeatedly I'm using 288 because when I collecting data, null values or missing values are the what we call row number 280. After 280 we have the missing values. After 280 I have the null values. I have of 280 I have some garbage values. So that I have taken this for my understanding, so that my data is like in a pure format, completely a cooked format, which I can use ready to use for development. This is how you can see that there is no missing values, there is no null values, there is no garbage values are presenting in my complete data set. Fine. Next, we had to print what is my format of data. Because by looking at this, it is like integer. Then I need to select what is my format of data by giving if this a print.sharp and print.data type. The data type format I can receive by the, so on by this directly with the help of data frames. This is the output how we are going to see here. Then we had to what we call transfer data into one format. Basically, most of the practitioners, what you do, best practice is like convert data into one physical format. It might be numeric, it might be categorical, it might be like floating, it might be XML format, but text format. Most of we get all data in numerical format. To convert all into a numerical format, this is the line of code we are going to data equal data dot apply PD to numeric, and that will complete all into numeric format. If you have some floating points also, that same will complaint converted into input, so that we can use operation easily. Now we want to select, we want to see what is my some count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, what is my 25%, as 50% of data is given. We just given data that describes. The data that describe prints data characteristics. If you want to know the characteristics of data set, you just give this data that describe, and this output will be shown. Because if I given some values, it will show the up to value. As I'm not given, it will give top 5 values in my data set. This is a complete data set in a one line of code. All my characteristics of data have been shown. You can see here. This is the describe. This is the best practice. We want to see what is my characteristics of data, because we have to understand what is my data set and what a data set is going to tell me. From here only we have to create a hypothesis. The hypothesis in the machine learning is the most important steps. What is my, if my hypothesis is clear, then my problem statement will be in the right direction. Then here comes the visualization historical to plot historical type. Then see, when I'm seeing this type, it is like what is the zeros and ones, but the same thing I represented in the form of historical. See, it states that data hist is a keyword we use to use the figure size. I use the figure size and show dot plot dot show is a it's a code we use that. It states that in this format zeros attributes have more number, 1 and 2 or 3 are compared to less. By looking at that, we said that age group is this, a number of diseases like 6 diseases. If 0 is 1, 0 is more in all this of data set, we say like most of the patients are prone to disease 1, in the skin disease or psoriasis. By looking at this, the same information represented in the tabular format, and we are going to see in with just in catchy by this visualization. Now, till now we have done pre-processing steps. Uh, this all the data engineers are intend to do, and this is most part most of the researchers are going to work. And this building a model is other part. Till now, we have worked on pre-processing steps, how going to uh, fill the null values, how that's going to fill the some missing values, and so on, so on, so on. Now we have to create a training model now. The model building. This is the second phase, a model building, which I've seen a life cycle. In model building, now I'm importing from Scikit-learn, which has some models which are supervised and unsupervised. I'm selecting a model by selecting of this line of code. Then there should be a training and test data. X we can say the training. Y is correct test. Now the data are in arrays. Now before getting giving a training and test data, we have to remove label data. Why we have to remove the label data? We had to implicitly code our experience. It should machine should train and get the output. My output is it should not know, because if the student knows the answer, what the use of teaching me? Then I should train my model in such a way that give my input, it should get the output. This is how we are going to create a X and Y data set training and testing data. They are like partitioning X train, Y train, X test, X train, Y test, and we are giving model to what is my ratio is 80 to my training set will be 80% and test set will be a 20%. How we are going to give here my testing amount data is going to divide. Then there is a node of this one. Now model building. Now model building, we are going to select neural nets, and neural nets we know that like it tells the human nature, how the human brain is going to mimic. That's the main background how they are going to develop the neural net for for creating for initializing this neural net. First we have to install TensorFlow and Keras. Then we have to import from sequential this line so that you can get the algorithm we are going to work. And we have to get the hidden layers, because in neural nets we know hidden layers is the most concept. What is my hidden layer? Level 1 or level 2 or level 3 depends upon hidden layer, the configuration of problem statements and work, and the algorithm perform in better accuracy. Yeah, define a function to build. Now this is the line of code. Then there is a node. We need to hard encoding of what we called according to our problem statement. We are creating some input what we call neurons with activation function softmax. I am using activation of softmax, and given some neurons input, what are the inputs of a neuron, and the sequential model, adding some model. This is how we are going to create a model in neural nets. This is the basic what we call syntax. What we in other words we call it syntax, and we can say it like how we are going to insert a neural network. Neural network is the basic structure, a hard encoding. I have given some configuration so that and metrics, and I am using the material accuracy metrics to evaluate the model. Because every model has to be evaluated by some metrics. We don't know some. We have done some programming. We got some result. We have to test that result with some other thing. How accuracy will be there? How precision will be there? What is my FN score? We initially, as a beginners session, we have used only accuracy. Accuracy is the metrics we have used for the testing, test the model fit model. What is my uh, error in my model? Then this is all the steps that follows, and then by seeing of this, what is my dense is like, what the input and output is there. On this many times, the weights have been adjusted. Doing manually is different thing. When the computer works on TensorFlow and Keras, it works in this number of iteration, nothing but iteration. These are feed forward and back forward. It what a neural net do in background. What I let me clear. Let me clear in this. What a neural net do, it adjusts its weights depends upon the activation function using. Why they adjust its weight? Suppose in object detection, if you a neural net wants to recognize is a dog or a cat, it has to select the n number of inputs, n number of input of dogs, n number of input of cats. Then it stays like the features of cats and differentiation of feature of dogs. Then it stays that the weights will automatically balance by some update by themselves. State like, okay, if you have features of this, it belongs to cat. It is the features of this belongs to dog. In such a way, we are going to apply this code will give a performance of this of updation of the weights automatically. I mean, this is overview. I'm not going in a, what is statistically is there. If I go statistically, it required more enough time. It's just overview because it's a beginner class. How the codes are work on neural nets. This is my concept. I'm going to work on this. Now, this is echo. This is echo where my name updates weights of a neural nets are updating how many times, because for me when I run this code, it took me for updation of those, it was 40 to 45 minutes of them. That's why to consume that already I executed the code, and this the complete process. I have given echo size is 200, so that my weight should be automatically updated, and it should get my input data and output data, and the testing and training data should be there. And in this problem, I'm not going to predict anything. We are just going to analyze what is the pipeline of machine learning, and we are not going to predict what is what. We are going to just what is the background, how the machine learning pipeline works, and so on. This echo will run up to 200 times, and it stop. As my system is, I mean, not that much good. It took me 40 to 41 minutes. Then when you're going for GPUs, it will hardly take 10 to 15 minutes of that. And this picture state with the matplotlib, the model accuracy, the training and test data system states me that your training and test data are accurate. Then you are ready to apply few more algorithms, few more accurate metrics, few more validation techniques, so that you can improve your model accuracy, you can improve your model F1 score, you can improve your precision. This is how where we are going to stop here. The model accuracy, the training and test that we are going to done. Now, after that, I like to show other part visualization. Just a minute. Yeah, this I like to show this thing, because till now we have seen preprocessor, machine learning pipeline, neural net, so on, so echo, what is in hidden layer, what is it. Now we have to understand what actually my data is. How my actually data is state by completely visualization. Now for visualization, I use again NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. Seaborn is an excellent package for visualization. I love to use because this the pixel format to look is like very good. And I'm reading my data here. We are reading data from a local format. This is my header. If I give head, the top 5 elements of the header file will be listed. Now, here see, I want to know how many types of digits are there and what is the percentage. This is how I'm going to calculate. First, I'm creating some format of table, and this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. I'm given some name, this is 1, to count how many percentage, and this is the code. I want to get the percentage of a thing. Then see my output. Disease 1 has 30.6% of patients are affected by this disease. The second disease, 16% have been affected. For third disease, 19.67 disease affected. 13% for fourth disease and 14% for fifth disease, and last will be 5%. By looking at this, because till now we are seeing the code which is like zeros and ones, some label. We are like some not understandable format, but by this thing you might have know. Okay, we have 6 diseases. Most prone disease psoriasis, less prone is some disease 6, and this is the percentage. This is the main advantage visualization. Every data science project, every machine learning project should work on visualization concept. Then what we are going to do? See, this problem statement, what the author has said, he wants to identify what are the age factors are mostly affected with these 6 type of diseases. Out of 6, which age group is more affected to this? Then we have plotted disease frequency here. Then in x-axis we have age, in y-axis in the frequency. Frequency is the number of times they have been used. Then by looking at this picture, by label 1, label 6 diseases are my labels here, and age group 7, these are age groups 10, 12, 15, 22. By looking at this picture, I can say like age group of 36, like 30 to 45. I can say 30 to 45 are more prone to this type of skin disease. The author wants to find what are the age group or prone to skin disease, and which disease will be more or prone to skin disease. This was the author aim wants to work on that. The same thing, now we have to work how many amount of females are affected, how many amount of males are affected in this skin diseases. Then we have given some code, so that in the title we have given some what is accuracy here. X label, x-axis have this, and x-axis and rotate the thing, and y-axis the frequency. These are my 6 diseases. If it is 0, it is female, it is 1, it is male. Then by looking at this picture, you can say that males are more prone to skin diseases by looking at this, where compared to females. This is how the visualization gives better understanding what our problem statement is. And this is a density of how the which age group is more for density of that, and the ratio of females, what is the ratio of females and what is the ratio of males, and last, what is the ratio male versus female on the age group. See, age group, blue are representing male and orange represent female. We are going to plot by looking at this. We said like at the age of 35 they are more prone to some skin diseases. This is how going to go. However, this is that's in my side. Can we have open questions? Hello. Hello. Hello, brother.
Yes.
Yeah, we can open for questions. Do you have any questions? Hello, Abrar Roy. anyone, if you want to ask question, we'll have a question Q&A. You don't have any questions?
So, yeah, is that related to the same topic you want, or anything with regards to machine learning?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tell me, sir.
So I just want to know, I mean, like, because I want to understand what is the difference between data scientist and machine learning engineer.
When you talk about in broader perspective, a data scientist who has experience of more than 7 to 10 years, who has worked already on some collection of data, the pre-processing steps, model building, and the main goal of a data scientist is to make decisions. If my problem is going to work or not. When it comes to machine learning engineer, he works on up to pre-processing steps, like data engineer concept. He has to collect data, how you are going to collect data, what are the he's making some data to ready so that data science can use ready-madely. This is how the difference between data science and machine learning. And most of the company data science will be a 2 or 3, when machine learning engineers are more in number when head count counts there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
So it's like, I mean, machine learning engineer is level below when compared to data scientist?
Yeah, correct. The higher position will be data scientist, and openings when compared to job openings, machine learning engineers or data engineers are more scope when compared to data science, because data science has enough knowledge which hasn't already have work. They are enough knowledge that they are completely work on decision making, not in the what we have work in the what, hands-on sessions now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next.
Machine learning is like, yeah,
Mhm.
so machine learning is kind of technical role, right?
Yeah, technical. It's technical.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Sir, actually, I have doubt. Since we have different types of data, text is there, images are there. Whether our laptop configuration is also important to run our data.
Sure, because when you're working on, suppose, text, it is fine. We only have 8 GB. Like when you're using like Enable Navigator, it's fine. You can work without any hesitation. But when you're going for video, when you're going for image format, your computation power will be increased. Then at least you should have 16 GB of RAM, and most preferable GPU will be more suitable for working on image processing. It's completely depends upon data.
Okay. So this Google Colab, can we do in that? Like that doesn't matter the configuration of laptop,
Correct.
right?
Correct. I mean, that was a very wonderful service provided by Google Colab, which provides a GPU into TPUs also. Till now, it provides TPU also, a tensor process unit, and you can use there. And the other for Kaggle provides GPU also. You can use there also. Now,
So in any type of laptop we can run it, right?
yeah, any type. It's just like internet based. I mean, if you have connectivity is more, there's no need of any hardware configuration. Your internet connectivity is enough for that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Can we have the next question?
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
I have some, what do you say? I have practicing data science and machine learning from past 1 year and looking for jobs. So, is there anything for freshers or just they are looking for experienced person who are like they are asking for entry level job for 3 or 4 years for entry level jobs? Yeah, and what the scope in it? I just want to know this thing.
Uh, because and the reality is, like, because of this pandemic, the recruitment process have been stopped for the freshers. After March, there will be a huge opening for the freshers, those who are going for machine learning. And why there is a required for only experience 2 to 3 years, uh, they want the candidates who are ready-made work on the projects. But when a freshers, When the March completed, inshallah, everything will be settled down. There is a huge opening for the freshers, as a industry point of view. And the skill sets is like you SQL and your Excel. These two skill sets should be good when compared to Python, when you compare to your machine learning algorithms. Most of the interview point of view, they'll go for SQL concept. Maybe if you're familiar with that, we can hopefully cope up with this interview process.
Okay.
This is, I mean, it's something else.
No, this is okay.
Okay.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Okay, I just wanted to know. You guys. What is the next step? You guys are going to have a complete course on this.
I mean,
kind of action?
this option Abrar Bhai can answer because, inshallah, with the planning for 6 weeks or 5 weeks of hands-on workshop, as for other topic like cybersecurity already has started. Hopefully, inshallah, they are going to start hands-on session online. I hope so.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you have the other questions? It's open for questions. We have other questions, please. Yeah, Abrar Bhai, what we can do?
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. I just want to know.
Do we have any more questions?
Yes. Hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Yep.
Yeah. So actually, I'm just pursuing my PhD in AI in business. Can you explore any topics into it? So, what kind of research can be done inside?
Research. The word is very beautiful. Can I know your interest where you want to work? What is? I mean, AI is a big concept. Machine learning is a big concept. Can I know your interest where you want to work?
Actually, as I told that I'm interested into the business domain. I want to do AI in business.
Then hopefully you have to work on time series data with financial analysis and the stocking trading algorithms. Trading algorithms can be a better option when you are going to, if you're interested in business analysis. It's completely time series data. And the better option, you can work on anomaly detection.
Okay, sir.
Fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions?
Hello, Assalamualaikum. I have a question actually. That is currently whether it is better to have a course of 1 year in AI and ML or now engineering specialization has come. So 4 years would be better means.
I mean, are you a first year in BTech? I mean, are you in first year BTech?
If I want to change the field in AI and ML.
Please give your background, please.
I am actually a professor in PA College. So just wanted to know, means for my friend actually. So he is like whether it is better to have a course or whether do a 4 year this thing, engineering in AI and ML.
Actually, there are two perspectives we have to look at it. Where when it going to down to line 4 years, the artificial intelligence and machine learning is very common for us. When you compare to 2017, 2016 to 2020, the enough research have been done and come some of the saturation point. Then wasting of 4 years can be not a good idea. Better you can have an online courses without spending a single paisa. I suggest, because I have seen some resources. You can see the resources. These are the best resources you can learn by your home. There's no need of any trainer. Until unless our internal force will enact, we can't learn anything. This, when you go for these resources, you can learn by your sitting at your home time with your free time. This can be a better option for that.
Which one will be much better in this? Okay, you have multiple things in this. If I ask you personally for your suggestion.
Coursera will be brilliant for that.
Okay.
And the second one, Kata Code will be a good one.
Sorry.
And the second one.
Kata
Yeah,
Code,
the
okay.
next, someone you have some and ready to invest some money. The best site I recommend is a plural site. Instead of spending on some other tutorials for 1 lakh to 2 lakhs, have a login of plural site is a good resource provider.
Okay, Jazakallah. Okay, can we get this PPT?
Sure. I'll send to Abraham and then he will going to pass, I think so.
So this recording will be available. I have already shared the link. I'll share once more at tinyurl.com/mfird. So all of us can go through the recordings to revise all the concepts. And I'm also thinking if we have some faculty members in the audience, so maybe in your institute also, we can conduct a 1 day or 2 day hands-on session for the students to get them a real feel of machine learning. And if they get interested, then they can do one of this online course also. So if anyone is interested, you can just contact me.
What do you mean online course? I didn't get you.
No, I'm saying these are all online resources that are available.
Okay.
I'm suggesting in your campus also, maybe we can conduct a 1 day or 2 day workshop on so whatever we have seen in 1 hour over here, you can actually do a hands-on workshop in the college campus for all the students, so that they can maybe later on take any of this course if they are interested. So this is just an idea that I had for if there are anyone from academics to conduct a workshop.
For academics, what I feel is like one-to-one interaction with the students will be more helpful than going for online, because the interaction between student and the faculty gives a brief introduction what they're going to work. When offline is like just we see or something is going on, and what the Abrar said is the better good option. We'll have 1 or 2 day workshop, a complete sessions of morning session and evening session. This is a better option, I think so.
So if any faculty member is interested, just feel free to contact me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Is there some questions can we take here?
So I have shared the link in the chat box where this recording will be available, inshallah, after a few days. And all the previous webinars are also recorded. You can get a list of all those webinars also. So if there are no more questions, maybe we can close today's session. So Alhamdulillah, we have been having these weekend webinars for quite some time, and Alhamdulillah, all the recordings are available. And inshallah, we plan to have these webinars continuously in future also. So I would request all to please attend to build up your skill, to interact with these experts, to build up your knowledge. And you can also invite your colleagues or friends, your relatives to take advantage from these sessions. And if any of you would like to share your knowledge also, so that's very important that we also share our expertise with the rest of us. So if any one of us are interested in conducting a webinar like this, so just feel free to drop me a note and we can schedule your webinar also. So any other thoughts, comments, questions from anyone?
The thing is that, okay, I was not able to join the cybersecurity because of some this thing. I have had some trainings myself. I had some trainings. So is it possible? If you guys have some kind of a calendar where we can see what are the time. Like tentative calendar, so that we plan something.
For which one?
No, what happened was cybersecurity. I was not able to get into this thing.
You mean the webinar?
No, not the webinars.
Or the course?
Courses.
Course. Okay. So yeah, the second batch has started and it's ongoing.
Yeah.
So that second.
I know that. Okay. I was supposed to join this batch, but the problem I had some trainings myself early in the morning. I have to go to the office, so I was not able to join these trainings. So I mean, is there any feasibility that we can get some kind of a tentative calendar so that we can plan according to that? Inshallah, in the future. That's what I'm asking.
The cybersecurity course is a full-fledged 5 or 6 weeks of course.
Yeah. I know that.
Right.
No, in future, I'm talking about.
Right. So what I'm trying to say is that this batch is in progress. So once this batch finishes, then depending on the availability of the experts, we'll announce the next batch.
No, what about the other trainings? Like if Abdul Khalandar, okay, this guy, I mean, if he's free, if he's
right. Okay. So you're talking about the other trainings also.
Yes, other trainings which are ongoing trainings. For that we have a calendar.
So cybersecurity, right. So it depends on the experts actually, if they want to take a training or not. So cybersecurity experts came forward that they want to do a course. So mashallah, today full stack development experts, they have come forward and they are going to start a 4 months course from 1st of April. So mashallah, it depends on the experts. So full stack development course will be starting. So
sorry, I didn't get you. Can you please
full stack development, front end full stack development. That is React, Native, JavaScript, all that thing. So that will be starting from 1st of April for 4 months course, inshallah. And if anyone is interested in doing a course, taking up a course on AI, so floating a course, then we can schedule that. So
that is what that is what I said. If you have some kind of a thing, we can subscribe to that. We can get associated so that even you guys have a lot of time to accumulate the candidates. So if you can give us, whoever is interested, they can register for that in advance.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that we don't have a calendar. It depends on the experts' availability, right?
Experts. Like Abdul Khalandar bhai. Okay.
Yeah. You're not a training institute. So
yeah. I know that. It's not training institute.
Whenever any expert is available and they ask us to schedule, only then we can schedule. So yeah, if Khalandar bhai is ready, then
how do we need to? How do we get that update on that? Because like you said, April we are going to start a full-fledged training on full stack development for this thing.
Yeah.
So how do we need? How do we come to know that? That's a question.
Through the same channel as you came to know about today's webinar.
Because I got it through the WhatsApp.
Yeah, we normally post on the WhatsApp.
Okay, you do it on the WhatsApp. Then mashallah,
through the social media.
I got it.
Right.
Yeah, as a part of any upcoming workshops, alhamdulillah, I will be ready for any time. Inshallah, just we can have some discussions and we can move forward. Have the compatibility of the target users and mine, and it will be inshallah helpful to our community. I hope so. I will be ready for that.
Perfect. Yeah. We have your email ID if you don't mind.
Yeah. I will share.
You can share in the chat box so that others can also note.
Sure. I will be sharing. Yes, sir. This can be.
Okay. Basically, you will be sharing your this PPT, right? So we can have all the information.
Yeah, exactly correct, sir.
Okay, Jazakallah.
Yeah, Rabbi.
So any more discussion or questions or thoughts before we close?
Yeah, one last question. So what is the WhatsApp group? Because this link, I got it from my friend. So in case if you for future schedules, where can I get?
Okay, so we have a WhatsApp group. I think you need to be added to that.
Okay.
So if anyone is interested, you can just send me an email and I'll share I'll add you to the group, inshallah.
Okay, this is the email ID, right? Khalandar.
No, it's not. It's not mine. It's Abrar Bhai.
Okay, can you please get me the email ID? So I can forward it.
Okay, I've shared in the chat box, saysafra@gmail.com. So just send me an email over there. I'll try to add you.
Okay, thank you.
I think we can close now.
Yeah.
We don't have any other questions.
Yeah, inshallah. Thank you very much for.
Okay, Jazakallah, Dr. Abdul Khalandar. It was really very nice of you to take this interesting session, and all of us actually got to see how the ML works because we have been reading about it all the time.
Exactly.
Now we were actually see things happening in real time. So Jazakallah khair, and thanks to all the participants also to attend this session and to make it a lively session. And inshallah, we'll keep on having such make dua for all of us also, inshallah. Okay, with this words we'll close, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was very helpful.